right, here we go. Who knew? All it took was a little team dinner and bonding to get this thing back on track. The Knicks head into Utah against the hottest team in the NBA right now, the best team by record in the NBA right now, undefeated at home. Knicks in turmoil, so they needed to do a little soul searching. And give them credit. This team came out the gates. They were together. They were unified. As their point guard and their closer, Jalen Brunson, said, they were coming out with an act of desperation. And it showed out there tonight, man. The Knicks put together an end-to-end offense and defense effort to get them to win 118-111. 6 Knicks in double figures, led by the point guard Jalen Brunson, 25 and 8. But she had solid contributions across the board, and we're going to talk about it tonight, man. A lot to talk about. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks postgame live presented by Manscaped. CP the franchise, JD Sports Talk on the ones and twos. Late night edition of the postgame show, man. Midnight edition. But it's a worthwhile one. You know, when they come out with a win, these ones are nice. And after all that went on last week, all the drama surrounding the team, we thrive off of that. But nevertheless, on the first leg of a tough West Coast trip, they rarely win in Utah. And this Utah team is once again good. You wanted to see how they would come out and respond. And they responded very well, man. Shout out to this team. Great job. All it took was a little bit of effort, and not just offensively, because the offense is there. They scored 135 points in the loss to the Thunder. It was the defense. How are they going to come back against this defense? This Utah Jazz team, one of the best offenses in the league right now, highly efficient, great at three-point shooting team, number 1 three-point shooting team in the league, number 5 in assists. They spread it around between Marketing, Conley, Clarkson, these guys. But I have to say this, that Cam Reddish, once again, I've been asking Cam, shout out to the Cam Hive, it's your night tonight. I've been asking Cam, give me 5 good games. This is number 2. Because his wing defense was excellent tonight. Excellent. And I thought that spread amongst the team. Their rotations were crisp. They were closing out hard on the three-point line. They gave you some effort plays, and I thought Cam was a catalyst there. On the flip side, offensively, you had a lot of contributions, but here's where the game changed. It was really in the fourth quarter. Knicks coming into this thing down by 2. And I thought Emmanuel Quickly, coming off of the bench, gave this team a huge shot in the arm on both ends of the floor. Quickly started the fourth quarter with a steal, a layup, 2 threes, and that brought the Knicks from down 2 to up by 5. And that gave them a good cushion because once the closer got in, his name is Jalen Brunson. Brunson's 12 points in the fourth quarter was what gave the Knicks, what took it to the Knicks home, man. 118-111. Knicks get a big victory, man. JD, how you feeling, bro?
Well, let me adjust something real quick before I start. All right, let me just.
Hold on.
A little quick adjustment.
Let me get you full screen. Go ahead.
Let me make sure y'all got the message clear. You know, without saying some words, maybe, you know, visually you can see something behind me. Might give you a hint of where I might go. A little
homage to the Cam Hive for those listening on the podcast.
Listen, it was a big win for this team. You know, a lot has been going on over the last 24 hours, from the Knicks having the player meeting to the reports of who led the player meeting. A lot of reports about the coach. The hot seat is warming. And, you know, I thought it was interesting that this would happen at the beginning of a very tough road trip. And so, you know, you played a Utah team that, you know, you talked about them being number 1 in the league in three-pointer. They're better at home. They're shooting 39% at home from the three-point line as opposed to 35% on the road. So you had a tougher matchup considering the Knicks' recent, defense in terms of guarding the three-point line. You also just gave the Utah Jazz their first loss in
at
Utah.
home.
They were 5-0 before tonight. Now they're 5-1. So I know this roster doesn't have the superstars, but somehow, some way, Will Hardy, who has been a hot candidate prior, has gotten the head coaching nod. He has this team playing well. They're a good shooting team, and it's a big win to start a road trip. And Thibs gets more life, right? Like he's able to say that, this team fought for me tonight.
Yeah.
And they played hard. At the very least, what I saw tonight is the team did come out with a lot more effort defensively. You saw Brunson, how many times did he get, a charge called?
Yeah.
Or he was even playing solid defensively. He at least showing effort. And that's what I liked from Brunson coming out tonight in terms of being a leader. You talked about him last game with the accountability and what he was saying in the post game. I like the way that he responded as a leader and came out and led by example in terms of, showing effort and closing the game. And then, listen, man, I'm not going to take too long. Cameron Elijah Reddish, just in case you guys didn't know his whole government. CP, I don't like this one game every 10 and all this stuff, but maybe, and I know they watch KnicksFanTV, and I know he's listening to CP, and I think he's taking on the challenge of becoming, a more consistent player. But I think first and foremost, what I've enjoyed most and what I think is most promising with Cam is the defense, man. And I know we'll get to the offense because that's what obviously is going to take him to another level in terms of becoming a complete player. But this is a young guy that now has something to lean on in terms of a worst case scenario for him, in terms of his future on this league, is he can just right there, you can stay on this league by playing defense. You're always going to get a shot because you're 6'8". He's just a shade under 6'9". And you can see how he's being disruptive even when, he's not on the play defensively, on the passing lanes. How many times, whether he doesn't get the steal, he causes the steal just because he's just being disruptive in the passing lane. The ball denial is excellent. There was a couple times that, and it happens every game because he's still getting better, where he gets caught up in terms of, falling asleep here or there, but he'll get better there. But now this is 2 games now offensively where you're starting to see some of that talent and how he can put it together. Yeah. And I think it's not only a coincidence that he's getting more involved little by little. Even in the first half, I think he was like 1 of 5 in the first quarter, but I still was happy that he got 5 attempts.
Yeah.
And so Cam is starting to get more involved. He's starting to move more. Off ball, he's starting to move more. He's starting to be more engaged to the point where he's getting upset when he's not getting the ball
he's had it with Julius's theatrics. He's had it with Julius already.
Yeah, he's now even, getting upset if he doesn't get the ball. So I think that's a positive. We talk about wanting to see more emotion from him. We talk about wanting him to be more engaged on the court. I like to see that, man, because that's a guy to me that's locked in. And, I don't know what's going to happen with this rotation.
Yeah.
I thought tonight there were some reports. The Knicks shortened the rotation tonight. Evan Fournier did not play at all. I thought that was a significant move.
Yeah.
I know it's an easy move, but it's still a significant move because we're talking about a head coach that hasn't shown that in the past. And we're talking about benching a guy that still has another year at $19 million. So the Knicks, man, it was a great win. And I think now with the Jokic injury situation, with the health and safety protocols, this is how you set yourself up for a potential successful road trip by winning the first game, which they did tonight.
Big, absolutely big. And we're going to talk about the ramifications of him tightening up the rotations. We'll get to that. I want to get to some more players in this game. But on the Cam note, how about being efficient from the field? Another area where you want to see growth and development from Cam. 7 of 13 from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown, made 2 clutch free throws in crunch time. I thought this was another excellent game by him. Give him credit because he's playing well on both ends. And how about this? In terms of tightening up the rotations and the substitution patterns, Brunson and RJ were the first guards to go to the bench. He brings in IQ and Rose, and then you have a rotation lineup of IQ, Rose, Cam, Randle, and Sims. So Cam even getting some extended run with the second unit as Thibs went with brought IQ and Rose off the bench. So I thought that was very interesting. You had a lot of scenarios with RJ running with the second unit as well. So we'll see if that becomes a trend. Maybe that opens things up for him. We'll see. But back to some key players in this game. You know, Hartenstein got to start, and we all know the weakness of Hartenstein is he's not disciplined enough. Picks up 2 quick fouls, but Jericho came in and was mauling cats on both ends of the court. He caught obviously he's always due for a patented Sims Gotham lob where he's jumping through the gym. But offensively, being a force in the paint, protecting the paint, 13 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds. That's a Mitch type of night. That's a Mitch type of night that we needed, man. Getting us second chance points, getting us second chance opportunities. Knicks did win on the second chance statistic, 19-15. I thought Jericho Sims was incredible off the bench. I thought Obi was solid off the bench. In 18 minutes, you know, he got his little time. 9 and 6, an efficient time, 3 of 4 from downtown, but he made the most of it. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for Obi. And like I said, Emmanuel Quickly's 13, 2 assists, 4 steals for Quick, 5 of 10 from 303, 6 from downtown. Good to see Quick get some of that shooting back, but I thought defensively he was just as good. So you got some great contributions from the Knicks bench, who ended up scoring 39 points. 39 points for the Knicks. So good job by the bench.
Absolutely. And, you know, the bench was going to be one of the key matchups tonight, was because I'm trying to see here, the Knicks, I think, are 4th in the league going into tonight in terms of bench scoring. And, you know, them being able to score 30 plus points was a positive. And, you know, start with Sims there. You know, I think a combination of shortening the rotations and the way that they attacked the basket tonight allowed Sims to be a threat. You know, when I looked at this matchup going into tonight, I was actually curious to see if they would attack the rim, because you have Kelly Olynyk and Markkanen as your top 2 big men. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's when you look at a team that has the record that Utah has, you're going on the road. You have to identify, where can we attack this team?
Right.
And to me, that was a way. You saw Brunson live in the paint tonight. Mm-hmm. RJ, I know that he missed a lot, but he still attacked the rim. So the constant attack, even quickly attacked the rim sometimes. You saw Obi drive to the rim, and he was one of the guys that threw an alley-oop to Sims. Doing that allowed Sims to become a threat, where, you know, he's not exposed as a guy that can't shoot the perimeter. You have to use their athleticism. So whenever you have a matchup that you can attack the rim because the other team doesn't have shot blocking presence, you have to be able to utilize a Mitch whenever he comes back, athleticism, a Jericho Sims. And the advantage that Jericho Sims has over Hartenstein and even Mitch is Sims is able to jump straight up in like a millisecond. Yeah, you can throw it anywhere near, and he's just gonna jump up and get it anywhere you throw it. Whereas Mitch, you still have to throw it at a certain angle to allow him to get the ball and dunk it. Mm-hmm. But Sims, man, his athleticism is such an asset, and he can be a great asset in his league to any guard that can find him around the rim attacking the basket. So that was positive. You know, quickly, CP, we talked about how Quickly can become a threat if he can just hit his shots.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, how sweet it was when he was hitting some of these open threes. He was 3 of 6 tonight. A few of those threes were beautiful in terms of him being open and the basket or net, nothing but the bottom of the net. And I'm happy that he was able to hit his shots, because, you know, I think his defense has been underrated just because he hasn't been hitting his shots.
Right.
So his defense has gone, you know, just people haven't really noticed how good defensively he's become. And then, you know, listen, you talked about Obi, you called it the little time. You know, everything's been positive, and
He gets his
oh
little time,
man,
man. He gets his little
this coach,
time,
CP,
and in the
even when
fourth
he
quarter,
does something good,
you're just waiting. You're just waiting for the hook in the fourth quarter. You know, he
even
gets
when
his
this
little
coach
time.
does something good,
They go
CP,
on a
it
little
just
run.
seems like he does
You know,
something that just makes you go, why, Thibs? I don't understand how this coach can all of a sudden go from not wanting Cam Reddish reportedly, in terms of not being in favor of that trade, to now playing Cam Reddish 33 minutes, to benching Fournier. But 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 what's going on with this Obi thing? Like, why is Obi the one play on this roster that has still yet to get over that hurdle in terms of being able to get the opportunity? And the craziest thing is, with the whole Cam and Fournier and all that stuff, CP, we were just talking about that in terms of just the direction.
yep.
Like, if you look at it, Cam wasn't really proving himself to get the opportunity. You saw the type of preseason that he had. We were clamoring for him to get an opportunity just because we just felt it just had a higher ceiling
Right.
to making that move. Whereas Obi is actually producing. He's actually doing what he needs to do to earn the opportunity. And yet he just can't seem to break 18, 20 minutes.
No.
He's a plus 23 tonight, CP. A plus 23, the highest on the team. He's 3 or 4 from 3. He has 6 rebounds. He has 4 assists.
Yep.
I mean, no turnovers.
He was great.
What more could you ask for? And it just seems like a night like tonight where Randle only has 15 points. He has 4 turnovers. He's a minus 12. I mean, CP, it's okay. It's okay to tell your guy, like, listen, we're going to go with Obi tonight. And I just don't understand why with Obi, I don't understand what's going on there. But that, to me, was the biggest negative of a very positive night.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise there by me. You know, it just is what it is at this point. It has been what it is. It just has been what it is. But the past 2 games have been opportunities to even play Julius and Obi more together. And they haven't really gone. They got a little bit of time tonight when both Hartenstein and Sims had I think 3 or 4 fouls respectively, or 3 or 4 fouls each. But Hartenstein really didn't give you anything tonight, and so it just becomes a complicated matter because they went out and gave this guy the deal. And he's been all right, he gives you some good hustle, and he hasn't really shot the ball well as far as his floor spacer. So I think they missed some opportunities. But nevertheless, when Obi got his chance, he came up big near the end of the third and as well as the fourth quarter. And also, he got boards, which is very big. But like I said, I'm just watching that fourth quarter. I'm watching the rotations and the substitution patterns, and I'm just waiting for him to get the hook. And that's just where we are, man. I don't see much change in that regard. I don't see them holding captain accountability accountable. And that was very rich to find out that it was Julius Randle who led the team meeting today, the team dinner, or it either happened. I guess it happened last night, where he held a team dinner, players only, to hold each other accountable and hope that they play better. Encourage each other, hope that they play better. Look, I encourage that. I understand why they did it. A lot of fans didn't understand this doom and gloom thing that we were talking about, but if you're a Knicks fan for as long as we've been, at least for the last 20 years, there were bad signs on the wall that the Knicks were putting up early this season. In the past, when you have these player-only meetings, it's because bad things aren't going well, right? Back in 2013, Carmelo held the players-only meeting when things were 5 games into the season, right? This was after the magical Knicks tape run. What ends up happening later, bye-bye Mike Woodson. Right? They held a players-only meeting. Marcus Morris, let's hold a players-only meeting. That same day, bye-bye David Fizdale. So Julius knows when things are getting sticky. He's been around long enough. And so this was a gut check. This is gut check time for this team. They had to respond and they had to play well. And as Brunson said in the postgame press conference, they came out desperate. This is what you wanted to see. Even Breen said it. Wally said it. Everybody sees it. If you've been around this team long enough, watch this team long enough, everybody has seen it. You know what I mean?
Now, do you think Julius really led this meeting?
Who else?
Or do you think it was more of the continuous weird PR thing with the Knicks, it seems, in protection of Julius's?
Well, that's a great question, because knowing them, that they can.
Like how can it not be? How can it not be maybe Jalen Brunson? That, you know, he had the post game tonight, and he continuously talked about sticking together.
Yeah,
this is gut check time, and we talked about him saying the things, like, remember the quote he said? He said, "I wouldn't play myself either the way I was playing defense tonight."
Right.
And some people had said, "Well, yeah, that sounds good." But again, yes, it sounds good, and it does get you sympathy when you say that, because fans like to hear that. But you know how things are. It starts to wear thin when you don't produce or when you don't lead by example. But what did Jalen Brunson do tonight?
That's right.
He did exactly that. So when he plays the way he plays like tonight on the effort department, listen, he wasn't going to become Tony Allen tonight. But can we see crisper rotations? Can we see more effort? Can we see a little bit better defense? And he did that tonight. So when he does that, you know what you do? You win equity with me as a fan. When you say things, I start to believe you, because you're taking that into action. And here's the thing too, CP. I think they were lining up Thibs, man. They were lining him up.
Yeah.
The players were lining him up because, isn't it interesting to you that the player meeting happens right before this road trip? Like, hold up.
Yeah.
Let's just have this meeting so everybody knows if we go 0-5, it ain't us. We did everything we did everything we could. We had this player meeting. We tried to, see if we can get on the same page. We still went out there. It didn't go well. And what's the next step? The players just had a meeting. What's the next step if the Knicks would have come out tonight and lost and have a terrible road trip?
It's a CYA moment.
There's no other thing to do but to go to the head coach. So I think it was very interesting timing that the players had a players-only meeting right before this road trip.
100%.
But hey, they responded tonight, and you hope that they win against Denver. They have a golden opportunity. They don't win much against Denver.
They don't win much at all.
But Jokic won't be available, so
let's see.
That'll be a good opportunity for the Knicks.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Big Knicks win in Utah, man. 118-111. JD, it's past midnight in New York on the East Coast. We got 2,500 people in the chat. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button right now. Knicks postgame live, presented by Manscaped.
We got 2,500 Cam fans in the
2,500 Cam fans in the chat, man. If you guys are new in the chat, drop a hashtag new in the chat. We will shout you guys out. Midnight edition of the show. I want to shout out A.E. Kennedy, $20 super chat. Says, what Thibs is doing to Obi is criminal. Plus 23 in 18 minutes. He let Evan Fournier rock the entire fourth last game, and he scored 0 points. Either play that man or trade that man. I'm disgusted. The Obi Hive is not happy tonight. Understandable. Very understandable, man.
CP, what happened with Grimes tonight, man?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I want to get to the callers. Like I said, we'll react to the ramifications of this shortened rotation. But I want to get to the callers first because we got a short show tonight. So I want to get as much caller reactions in. Let's start from London, man. Let's go across the pond. It's 5 a.m. in London. My guy Demetrius on the check-in. Demetrius, what's going on?
Yes. Yo, what's good, CP? What's good, KnicksFanTV?
Let's
the
go.
Whole community, New York City, stand up.
Let's go, my guy.
It's 5 in the morning, and I'm up. You know what I'm saying? I know it's rapid fire. I already know the rules. You know what time it is. But, yo, it was a pleasure meeting y'all, too, at the 40-40. I flew in for the Knicks game opener. You know what I'm saying, at the 40-40. It was great meeting you for the first time. You know, we're going to build. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to talk about the effort. I thought the effort was great. I love Jericho Sims. I saw glimpses of this last year with him. Obviously, it wasn't ready for him to get up in there. I think he's a great backup for the team because Mitch, as much as I like him, he doesn't seem very durable to me. And, the size and strength and body size that Sims has and that athleticism, I mean, this dude is a freak of nature. So I definitely think that the Knicks should definitely give him as much playing time as possible. This guy is definitely a rising star. Big shout to Cam. His effort was ill. And the rest of the team, I think Obi definitely needs to get more time. He's rebounding. He's got his ceiling is very high too. So I think Thibs needs to do something about that. And I don't know about Hartenstein, man. This guy, he can't really defend.
Yeah, he played kind of soft
He comes out
tonight.
with a good intention.
Yeah,
man. It just got something by him, and he doesn't seem. Yeah, I think him and Fournier. If we get through, a couple more weeks in the season, if we got to make a trade to get something a little bit better, I think we could package him, man. I know we just got him, but I'm not really feeling his vibe. You know what I'm saying? Him and Fournier, maybe we could package them up and get somebody that's a little bit more beneficial for us, given that we got Sims. But obviously we still need a backup because, Mitch is kind of fragile. So I'm not too sure about Mitch with that, even though we just signed him. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I just want to salute. It's been a while since I called in, but I wanted to touch down. And let's not get too excited, though, because we still got a whole bunch of games to go in the West Coast. And, we had a good game today, but I want to see the same effort the whole way through. Even if we lose, I want to see us at least lose by 5-2, and we put the same effort in. I do not want to see these flabbergasted losses anymore. I'm tired of it. No point.
Appreciate the call, man. Definitely appreciate the call. And
no doubt, man.
Yeah, man.
No doubt.
And big up to the UK, man. Everybody out in London, salute to the UK. And, Jericho had a couple putbacks, a couple strong putbacks. Obviously, the Gotham lob that he caught by Quick was ridiculous. So good job. I mean, that's one thing the Knicks can say, that even in Mitch's absence, even though we do miss Mitch's defensive impact, there's no question. But based on his lack of durability, you're thankful that you have at least some depth behind him, especially with Sims. And Sims seems like he's coming along nicely in the second year. Hartenstein, we got to see, man. He's kind of soft in some regards.
It don't sound like he's doing it for you, CP.
Yeah,
you don't sound like
right? I mean, listen, I
maybe
like.
you start to see why the guy has been in multiple teams.
It's just like, we haven't really capitalized on his passing ability. Yes, he spaces the floor, opens things up, allows Brunson and RJ and Julius to attack a little bit. That's good. But it's just been kind of underwhelming. You understand why he's a backup, really. He's really a backup.
Even the shot is still like.
I haven't seen him hit a three since the preseason. And
his career is not like he has a track record. He has a good percentage, but on low attempts. I know people have, categorized him as that stretch five, but I just wanted to see a little bit more before I really put him in that category.
To be honest, bro, the guy I really wanted in that role was Kelly Olynyk. That's who I wanted from last year, even before you even went to Detroit.
And he's one of those players, when he's not on your team, you just hate him. Because he hustles. He does he does little dirty plays here and there. Like he does all the little things, and then he can hit the three.
Yeah, 27 points for Kelly Olynyk tonight, man.
Has some juke moves. I remember when he was in Miami, he gave the Lakers a tough time when they went small ball against the Lakers in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
So he's an experienced player with the Celtics, with the Heat.
He's tough.
Yeah, he would have been a nice get.
That's who I was really looking for to kind of fill that secondary, tertiary center role, stretch five a little bit, give the offense a different look, a different element. But we'll see.
And Hartenstein's cool. He's cool. See, people, the thing is, what you start to see is with this opportunity without Mitch here, is you start to ask yourself, when you see a night like tonight from Sims, is the Hartenstein move, is his minutes that much of a priority on a nightly basis over kind of mixing it up here and there and giving Sims some run whenever Hartenstein just doesn't have it and Mitch comes back? Like, you start to see that Sims is not that far behind from getting some minutes here because, I know he doesn't give you the jump shot, but he still gives you other things as long as, you know, you have guards that can attack the rim and get him involved.
Sims was great. He was great tonight. Like I said, 8 offensive rebounds, man, getting those second chance opportunities. His effort, his intensity was much needed, and it paid off big time off the bench. Let's shout out Team Hashtag News in the chat. Shout out to D-Block 755. Shout out to D-Block, the real D-Block as well. Shout out to Justin Abernethy. Shout out to Jen, Team Hashtag New. We have Rodolfo says hashtag Cam. Let's go. I like that. Shout out to Kenny Gales. He always reps Team Hashtag New, but he's in here every night since, you know, last 3 years. Shout out to, who else we got Team Hashtag New in here? All right, I missed some of it. But yeah, salute to everybody, man. Salute to Blade Pinderhughes, $10 super chat. Definitely appreciate that. All right, let's go back to the phones, to the Discord we go. The Mad Titan on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, what's good, CP? Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. How you feeling, bro?
Good, man. Good win.
Are you calling from London too, bruv?
Yeah, I'm from London, man.
Back-to-back London calls. I didn't even know my man was from London, man. What's good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. You know, it was a good win. Glad I stayed up for it. Tired of like staying up to watch us lose, so it was a good win.
No doubt.
Yeah. First things first, I want to say Jalen Brunson's him, so is Cam, and so is Quickly been him.
So it's Cam.
But say that again.
Nah. JD was bigging up your Cam comment. He's president of the Cam Hive, so he always likes a Cam compliment. So, yeah.
For sure. Well, yeah. I just wanted to touch on the Randle stuff. Like,
yeah,
I feel like, yeah, him on the team is not working out, man. He needs to go. Obi's like playing well, and he's shooting really efficiently from free.
Lost his connection a little bit, man. I'm gonna let you go, man. Definitely appreciate you calling in, man. Big up all them on them from London, though, man. We got 2 back-to-back London callers, man. Stayed up, burning the midnight oil, 5 a.m. in London. That's a diehard Knicks fan, man.
Facts. Cam will do that to you.
Yeah, they in the trenches with us, man. 6 and 7 turmoil. Is the coach gonna lose his job? Who's gonna get traded? Our guys over in London is up with us, man. They rocking with us heavy, man.
It's a big night. It was a big night for this franchise, man. This is a turning point in the season. So
yeah,
everybody, the fan base, with everything that's going on, everybody's ready to go. And now, you know, now we're ready to see what they're going to do against the Nuggets.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's go back to the phones. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Shout out to Shimmy MD. Somebody in the chat said, let Top Boy go. I was letting him go. The connection was bad, man. I got to look out for the callers, man. We need audio quality, man. That's all. Let's go to Patrick from LI. Patrick, how you doing?
How y'all doing, man?
Good.
Big fans. Been watching since middle of the 2020 season.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to keep it rapid fire,
Please.
but I got a lot on my mind. There's a lot that y'all say that I agree with.
Okay.
But as far as Randle, it's sad to see. Like, it's so obvious how he holds the Knicks back. Like, he just his attitude, his demeanor, his style of play doesn't fit Thibs. That's the main thing to me. And I wanted to know what y'all thought about the idea that the other players on the team watch how Thibs treats Randle, like no accountability. You know what I mean? Like benching Barrett last game, and then, you know, no matter how many mistakes, no matter how many turnovers, you know, he just continues to give Randle all the minutes, and it's just so obvious that Toppin doesn't need the ball. He's similar to Grimes in that way. Like, he doesn't need the ball in his hand constantly to score. He can score, you know, 15 points on 8 shots every single game, and Randle needs 15 to 20 shots, and then you got to deal with his 5 turnovers, etc. So I'm just wondering about that whole dynamic. Like, do you think maybe they'll trade him? Like, because I don't think he even fits the way Thibs really wants to play.
Yeah, we talk about this so often, man. We do, but it's frustrating to the fan base. It's frustrating to the fan base the way things are. Will they trade him? I don't think they'll be active to trade him because there's pressure here to win games, and I still think that the family nature, the chummy nature that Leon Rose and these guys have put themselves in with all the players and the coaches that they've acquired, Julius included, They're not just he's not just gonna go cutthroat like Danny Ainge. You know what I'm saying? If Danny Ainge took over this team and they had drafted Julius Randle would have been long gone. Period. From draft night, he would have been gone. Right? But the relationship is there. We don't have to, go back into the past and understand how he got here. But will he trade him just as a desperate move? Not unless things get really, really bad. I don't see it.
I agree with Lloyd Banks' comment in the chat. Shout out to
Banks
Lloyd
in there.
Banks.
Shout out to Banks, man. What Banks say?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's for the young boys. He said, let me see, I have it right here. He said, New York Knicks, Cam, Obi, Sims, IQ, let the young boys run.
Let
Salute
the young
to the
boys
chat.
run,
Salute
man.
to the show.
Salute to the OG Lloyd Banks in the building. That's the type of night it is, bro. That's the type of night it is. The OG's are in here, Chuck D's in here, Banks is in here. 12:30 midnight. It's a good win.
I mean, I don't know what this whole Obi thing is going to be interesting, CP, because they're going to have to make a decision maybe by the trade deadline on this situation. And the reason I say that, CP, is okay, if with the Randle decision, I don't think he can raise his value any more than what it's been.
No.
Statistically, he's going to be where he's at. From a playing style, it is what it is. Like, what more can he do or can you do as an organization to boost his value? And so if the thinking around the league is that, his value is where it is, I don't think you can run away from potentially having to attach an asset to get rid of him.
Right.
In other words, to trade him. I don't think so. In other words, it's like, okay, last year was okay, wait till this year. Okay, is this year gonna be wait till next year? Like, and then you're gonna keep him here, which is it the best for this franchise? And if it's not,
because time is running out on Obi, bro. They gotta make a decision.
That's what I'm saying.
They gotta make
and
a
I
decision.
think that's why they were ready to include Obi in the Donovan Mitchell talks, because they tried to clear some of that stuff. I don't think they wanted to deal with this. And I think Obi has even surprised them because of how good Obi is shooting the basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know that they really expected that.
Man.
Right. I don't know that people really expected this, and Obi's ability to produce in the low minutes he's getting. Like, that's been a big adjustment for him. And so they're going to have to make a decision, and it's going to have to cost them, unless these rumors about the Miami Heat, or unless
that was a rumor,
somebody comes about and you're able to, get into a big trade where you don't have to give up an asset. Other than that, some things you can't avoid. Evan Fournier, guess what? You can't avoid it. If you want to get rid of him, you're going to have to do something, because his contract is so high, you might have to attach a draft pick. And if you don't, well, you just made the decision tonight. He's out of the rotation. So is he going to be a DNP for the next 2 years, a year and a half? So the Knicks have a lot of work to do in terms of their veteran players. And that's why a lot of, I know Thibs is getting a lot of heat. That front office, y'all look, y'all hiding behind the doors, but y'all ain't hiding behind my doors, because I'm watching, and we know where all this is stemming from. It's roster construction, and that's the front office's job to do.
There's some knots tied up that they got to untie, no doubt about it. Shout out to Banks, $50 super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Salute to Lloyd Banks. Salute to Joseph Kim, $10 super chat. We got Shimmy D Team #new, man. The comments are flying in. Throw some emojis in the chat, man. Let us know how you guys are feeling tonight after a 118-111 win. Also want to shout out to Rhyme Animal Chuck D, $5 super chat. He says, Cam is the future star. Don't let this man be this century's Rod Strickland. Knicks toss bags everywhere. Bag him now. His mistakes still have upside. The Rhyme Animal Chuck D has officially entered the Cam Hive, ladies and gentlemen. On tonight, Wednesday, November 16th, the Rhyme Animal Chuck D has officially let it be known.
Oh, there's always space for legends. So Chuck D, come on down. We have space for you. And Chuck D, hey, it looks like he's becoming a believer. And I'll ask you, CP.
He's a believer.
I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
if Cam continues to play, it doesn't have to be like this in terms of 18 or 20 points, right? Because as long as Julius is here, it's going to be tough. It has to be within rhythm. If he continues to play somewhat consistent, is that enough for you to really consider giving him like a contract extension? Like, what do you do?
Depends on the price, bro. It depends on the price in the market. But what I'll say, let's get into the rotation thing right now, right? Because it's we getting into the show, right? Let's get into the rotation thing. There's no better time than now for him. I've been saying it since the Grimes injury. There's no better time than now for Cam. And now with Thibs looking to shorten the rotation, tonight on the press conference, he said he wanted to see guys get into more of a rhythm. So this could be a longer-term play. How does it impact them on a back-to-back against Denver? More high altitude. Let's see what happens. And RJ being sick and whatnot, let's see what happens there. But for Cam specifically, there's no better time than now. You have Grimes has a lot to catching up to do. You need wing defense. The defense has been atrocious. He's filling a huge void right now in the rotation. He's shooting the ball efficiently. Consistency is going to be the key. And durability also is going to be the key for him. Forget Fournier. He's finished. They'll either trade him by the deadline or by the offseason. He's gone. Forget about him unless injuries really get him back into the rotation. So they have time with Grimes to get back into the swing of things. He just got here last year. With Cam, the clock has been ticking since last year. They gotta figure out who he is, what he is to this team, what his market is, and will they be willing to pay him? Remember, it's not just Cam. By next year, you got to decide on Obi and Quick. Everybody's not going to get kept, bro. Who's going to be your most valuable to this team? How does the Julius situation impact Obi? It's a lot of decisions, like you said. Everybody's not going to get kept. You can't cap yourself out with this roster. That's what you can't do.
And you might have to sign some players because you have the ability to and just blow up this payroll and then turn around and trade some of those guys.
Right.
So it's like, never know, right? They were ready to pack RJ up
right
for Donovan Mitchell. So that doesn't mean that then they say, you know what? Because listen, I'm not comparing him to him. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
What I am about to say is the ingredient that he offers is something important when you look at long-term into potential contention.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden State Warriors do not win the NBA Finals without Andrew Wiggins. They don't.
Yeah.
Without Andrew Wiggins' ability to defend, forget the fact that Andrew Wiggins was giving you 15, 16 points, which that's a decent floor to look at for Cam. Cam doesn't have to be a superstar. I know his talent projects like a high ceiling, but he doesn't have to even do that. So when you look at long term, if Cam could become consistent, you start to think what Cam can offer defensively, is that an ingredient that you need when you look at this team being a contender? And I tell you what, CP, remember when we were talking about the offers for Donovan Mitchell and some were saying, who are you going to start after Donovan Mitchell? Cam? You're going to start Cam? Because you're not going to have nobody left. I wonder if the Knicks knew that they could get this defensive effort and some of this from Cam. I wonder if they would actually do some of those, do that move. And Cam would have been projected as a small forward starter with Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. That would have been interesting. But moving forward now, Cam is going to be an interesting decision for the Knicks because, again, you just look at it. His defense alone makes a difference for this team, man, and you're going to need that.
Here's the thing, and this is why it makes it interesting. Do they go in the draft and go get that? And get another player on a rookie scale contract at a fifth of the price? These are all things that have to be considered, all right? I don't want everybody in the chat to be like, oh, you're a hater, you're a Cam hater. These are things that the front office has to seriously consider. You sign Brunson. Randle is still here. You sign RJ. You have to make decisions on Cam, then Obi, then Quick, if these guys are all still here by the trade deadline and by the offseason. It's a lot to consider.
And also, that Wizards pick, you never know. Right now, the season ended today. The Wizards are in the playoffs. You're getting that draft pick.
Right. And the Mavs pick. You got a lot of first round picks, bro.
You might have 3 first round picks this year. So like I think the Knicks will do the same thing. They'll try to take it to the last day of the deadline, see where those draft picks project, see what the value of those picks, where they're headed, and then they have a decision to make. Because once the deadline is over, Cam is I believe is an unrestricted free agent. So if he is an unrestricted free agent,
what the trade deadline?
I'm not 100% sure.
I think he's restricted. I think the deadline, there was a deadline in early October where if they didn't come to an agreement that he would go into restricted free agency.
Okay, yeah, so if he's restricted, they do still have some ability to match an offer sheet.
Yeah.
But again, if you let it take the free agency, all it takes is one of these young teams to just say, "Hey, we don't got nothing to lose. Offer this guy more money." So, they got some interesting decisions to make. I think the first thing they have to do is figure out this Obi thing. But then now we talk about rotations. Grimes, CP.
Yeah.
The guy is so weird with Grimes. I don't understand it. He has a game where he plays like 8 straight minutes. Then the next game, which was the OKC game, he plays spotty minutes.
Uh-huh.
And then tonight he plays no minutes, and he's not even on the injury report. If the guy's not even listed on the injury report, to me, you're 100% healthy. You're not even listed on the injury report. So you've had a couple days of rest. You're active. I don't know, man. It's bizarre.
You know what? What's interesting here is the whole thing. Like you said, the whole thing's bizarre, right? Because let's go back to him even starting in Philadelphia, and he clearly wasn't ready. So they've been handling this thing kind of awkward. Now he's out of the rotation for now. Again, you have a back-to-back in Denver. Rose didn't play that much. Does Rose play tomorrow or later tonight? How does that work? But does he ultimately take, if they keep this rotation, 9 guys, does he take Rose's spot? Does he take Thibs' son's spot?
Just when you think...
Who was just complaining about playing time last week.
Just when you think Fournier being benched cleared the way.
Yeah.
There's still logjams.
Right. We back to the square one. It's Randle, it's Fournier, it's Rose. What are we going to do? Are we going to give this thing a full youth movement? Or are we going to stick with these guys in the rotation? It's back to the same questions. They're getting blocked.
And CP, that's a hard pivot in terms of going Grimes for Rose, because not only are you doing that, but now you're also taking IQ into that lead guard spot.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro.
So to me, because of the dynamics of that, I don't even know if that's necessarily what like a basketball decision in terms of what you think is best, more so than it would be just saying, yo, we're just going with young guys. We'll figure out these roles. We'll figure out how we're going to utilize IQ. Maybe we play him more with Brunson. You saw some of that tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe you figure out a way, okay, IQ's going to be a lead guard at times, but we're gonna take maybe Brunson out a little earlier so we can give Brunson some minutes with IQ, so we don't put that much pressure on IQ being the lead guard. But you got to find minutes for Grimes. I mean, this would be crazy. Like, I want to see, like, CP, with the way Cam's playing defense, man, I would love to see IQ, Grimes, and Reddish, those 3 guys at the top of your line of defense. I would love to see that with a Mitch in the paint. Man, like that has a lot of potential. And you pick your poison at the 4, Obi Toppin, or even RJ if you want to go extra, small ball with Mitch at center. But I want to see Grimes and Cam play some basketball together. Especially when you're playing some of these high-powered offenses. But they got to figure that out, man. And tonight was the first night that they, you saw the reports before the game time
9-man
about
rotation.
Ian Begley saying, "Watch out tonight."
Yep.
So you won that way. Does Thibs stick with this 9-man rotation for the foreseeable future? It's going to be interesting to see.
Big facts, man. Shout out my guy EJ in the chat. $50 super chat. Says they won't do this, but they should. Team looks just better without Julius Randle. Attach one of the protected picks and let him go. Send Evan to France for a French baguette. Let Rose go to a contender. We will be the worst team for wins and losses, but better feel. Yeah, I don't know, man, because you know what we saw in the Mitchell trade is that these protected picks don't really ain't really worth too much, man. These teams want the skin off your back, you know, so they're gonna want one of yours and maybe an unprotected. But we'll see, man. I think the whole Julius thing is just I think they stuck for right now, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks Postgame Live, presented by Manscaped, CP and JD on the ones and twos, midnight edition of the postgame show. Remember that this show is presented by Manscaped, fellas, man. Go out there and get that Lawnmower 4.0, the #1 men's grooming tool below the waist. And you can do that by going to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. And not only do they have the Lawnmower 4.0, but a ton of other great men's products: shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, cologne, foot deodorant, ball deodorant, whatever you want. They even got the travel bag. JD got they hooked JD up with the travel bag. You know, they got everything, man. Everything for today's man. So make sure you guys are going out there. Support our sponsors. You support us. Manscaped.com, promo code KFTV. We'll skip player ratings because I want to get to some more calls. We'll skip player ratings.
You don't want me to do no Cam player ratings tonight.
Nah. We'll skip player ratings.
I'll break the scale.
Yeah, we got a show tomorrow, back to back. We'll skip player ratings to make the show flow a little bit faster. Get to some more calls and then wrap. Let's go to Jack Klafter on the Discord. Jack, how you feeling?
What's up, CP? Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. How you doing, bro?
All right. Salute CP, salute JD, salute all the boys, and salute the Camp Hive. Love the work you're doing. Just a few points from tonight's game and then a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I admit I was a hater, but Jalen Brunson's contract, definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, perfect for the team. If you look at the market, he's definitely within range. Love him. Thank God the French baguette did not play tonight. Like, that Thibs, he must have a Twitter or something because he's finally reading the fans' comments. And iHeart ain't a starter. We knew that, but he's not a starter.
Yeah.
So just some general points and then a few little more grander points. I know winning cures everything and everyone forgets about it, but I've been in agreement with you that like if we fire Thibs, like who else are we gonna hire? I know the Mark Jackson, every 2 years everyone always mentions his name. The kind of asinine fans like myself are always like JVG, as if he's going to leave his ESPN job. Like, he's not. Ime, no. Like, no one else.
No?
So, I really don't see anyone else.
I'd take Udoka on his team. I'd definitely take Udoka on his team.
My other point is that I think that the front office definitely needs a talent evaluator, given our history of misses in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just like your thoughts on that. I mean, Frank and Knox instead of D. Mitchell and SGA. I mean, even RJ instead of
appreciate the call. Well, but the thing is, you got to remember that wasn't Leon and them. You know, we got to be fair there, right? In Leon's tenure, you guys are Obi fans. They did get you Obi with the 8th pick. You have IQ had a good game tonight. I thought they got good value in IQ's pick. Sims, how about Sims? Sims was one of the last picks in the draft. I mean, they haven't been at the top of the lottery, but I think by and large, you know, if Grimes plays healthy and based on his profile, I think he'll turn out to be a good role player for them as well. So I think they've done a good job with Walt Perrin and them leading the crew of finding value at those picks. Right now, we're looking for top-end talent. And I think that's a little bit harder to come by as you go later into the draft.
No, it's not a draft, but does Cam get included in that because you gave up a pick for him, and that's evaluating talent.
Hey,
there.
you had to go scout him, right?
Had to go scout him there.
Had to go scout him.
Yeah, I've always been interested to see what this franchise would do with like a top pick in a loaded draft to see. But even if you look at some of the guys they've been reported interested in, they've panned out. From Chris Duarte, they wanted LaMelo. They were interested in LaMelo, where they had the talks with Mitch and thinking about trading up. So one of the strengths, is perceived by this organization, with Walt Perrin, is the ability to identify talent. They wanted Tyrese Maxey. They weren't able to get him,
right?
And where they drafted quickly. So even some of the guys they've been reportedly interested in have been guys that have panned out so far in the NBA. It's just, but doesn't seem to be their main focus because, Leon is Leon. Walt Perrin is one guy, but Leon is the guy that wants to star here.
Yeah.
And that's tagged to, it seems like that's tagged to his legacy here, because that's what everybody talks about. And now that he's had the opportunity to get one and it didn't happen, I wonder if there's just more pressure for him where he feels he needs to do that before his tenure is over.
I think
that's going to be interesting to, you know what I mean? Like, does he feel that pressure, and does he flip the switch on the game plan and says, yo, forget about these kids and development. I need to get a star here before I get packed.
Right. That's a fact, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Shout out Eric Grace in the chat team, #new. Back to the phones we go. Rapid fire, people. We got a late night tonight. Flossy Flakko from Brooklyn. Flossy, what's going on?
What's the vibe? JD, CP, salute to the chat. Salute to everybody.
It's good,
I'm
man.
here on the Cam Hive, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm here for the Cam Hive.
Okay.
Ever since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, we looking at a
I thought that was Max B calling for a second.
Type of style of play. I'm loving it. I think we need to go all in on Cam, but for one strange reason, what I'm seeing is y'all peep Randle's like his energy as far as when the game was over tonight, and even the night before. It's like he strays off or he fades away to the side. So like with the younger players that we got on the team, I feel like they definitely see that. They feed off of that, and that's one reason why Thibs can't control the locker room, because them young boys is not really respecting him because they see Randle, he don't respect him. So once again, like I said, go Cam Hive, stand up. Salute to JD, CP. I'm going to call on another night, guys.
Anytime, bro. Anytime, bro. Appreciate the call, man. I thought that was Max Bigavelli calling from the cell, man. I was like, yo, Max, where you at, bro?
Upset.
Didn't he sound like that?
Yeah.
He's true. He's a BK dude.
I've been trying to tell you, that's what Cam will do to you, man. Got people calling, press 9.
Max got some time on the phones, man. It was like, yo,
we got Max B tonight. We got Lloyd Banks tonight.
Yeah.
50 might roll up. You never know.
Yeah, of course. Of course, man. Did he sound like Max B? All them super thugs in the chat. He sound like Max B a little bit. Sound like the wave god, man. Shout out to Traquan from ATL, man. Shout out to Atlanta for sure. Rashid from the BX. What's good?
Yo. Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear. How you feeling, bro?
Yo, I'm good. CP, JD, what's good? But salute. Yo, thumbs up in the chat. I'm be quick. Yo, I'm here to throw tomatoes at Leon. Yo, What is the plan, bro? Y'all are asking mad questions. We all asking the same questions. We don't got no answers. Why? Because Leon's holding on to picks. He's holding on to mid players. Bro, it's mid everywhere. Come on, bro.
Whoa.
Let's be clear. We won the game. It was a good win. But, yo, we get smoked tomorrow. Then what? It's the same thing. It's every day, the emotional roller.
This guy's not impressed.
We see it. Leon, do something. Trade someone. Get us somebody. I'm out of here.
Wow. A rapid fire Debbie Downer call, man. Rate that call in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. 1 being fact, 1 being trash, 5 being facts. He just rained on your parade, Knicks Nation. We got 2,500 people in the chat. 118-111, impressive win over the Utah Jazz. My man was not feeling it, bro.
You want AD?
Whoa. He came through with the flamethrower, man. Just rained on the whole parade, bro.
My man, he ready for the trade deadline.
He's over it.
He not buying it, man.
He's not sold, man. We can't sell him anything, bro.
Hey, I'm going in tonight on the Cam praise because you never know tomorrow.
Whoa. My man came through with the flamethrower and just brought us back down to earth, man. I like that though, man. He kept
do you think tonight's win gives Thibs 9 more lives? Or do you still think that the road trip is going to be still the big defining factor?
I just feel like it's how you lose, man. How fans. Was debating with fans, Robert Randolph and all these fans. How you lose matters, bro. Listen to the telecast today. Breen felt it. Wiley felt it. It's real, man. These guys have been around. We've been fans. We've seen it time and time again. How many coaches does this team run through every 2.5 years? Thibs is lucky he's on year 3. That playoff run and coach of the year bought him another year. Real talk. Yeah. Real talk. If he didn't have that, he'd be gone by now. How you play matters. Like what Brunson say after the game. We play with a sense of desperation. It's only game 14. They're 6-7. You had fans on Twitter. They're only 6-7. This is where we thought they would be. Desperation. Team meeting before that because they know what's ahead of them. They're running a gauntlet right now. Toughest trip of the year. They feel the pressure, bro. They feel it.
And there's just too much even on social media that's going on. You know, with the IQ. What is it? Coach or friend?
Yeah, G Day was tight with IQ's role. Yep.
You even got, Hartenstein's girl responding to stuff.
Yeah, man.
Like you're just seeing a players only meeting.
Knives
you're
coming
seeing
out,
a
bro.
lot of engagement between even the players, confidants of players. You're seeing frustrations out on the court. The team just doesn't sometimes look like together.
Yeah.
And that's why Brunson has said we need to stick together.
Right.
Because you're not seeing it. And in year 3, you would think some of these things would already be resolved. And it still seems to be that there's more questions than answers. And when a coach has a 5-year contract and he's going into year 3, you still have more questions than answers. You still have, the culture is semi-established, but not really. You don't want to be a head coach going into year 3 in any organization and you're getting questioned on the way that you're holding players accountable. It usually doesn't end well. It usually never ends well. And because a lot of those question marks that Thibs is facing is why the heat, the seat is on fire, even as the team is 500. Because here's the thing that people forget is, yes, you could be at 500 CP, but at the end of the day, what are you learning? And I think this fan base, a majority is at a point where if we're going to be at 500, man, let's just be at 500 and obtain more information. Mm-hmm. Let's be at 500 and let's know, okay, is Obi a future starter for us or do we need to pack him?
Right.
Is IQ a future 6-man, a future Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams, or Terry Rozier, or do we need to pack him? Is Cam, a future, starter or rotation player, Hall of Famer? Is he the next Paul George, or do we need to pack him? And so, we need to figure out what is the highest ceiling of a lot of these guys. I think everybody's ready for the full youth movement. I even want to see Deuce get some minutes, man. Can Deuce get Rose's minutes?
Nah, I'm good on that. Give it to Grimes. We're shortening up the rotations, man. We need offense, man. Yeah, I would get Deuce some selective minutes if we needed defense for sure.
I'll give Deuce some 6 minutes. Those 6 minutes be end of quarter minutes.
Yeah,
right. Like I would have loved to see them end some of these quarters against OKC versus SGA. Like you could find a way to be strategic, but big picture, yes, Grimes and some of this core needs minutes. And so if this team is hovering 500, Thibs is just going to be facing that, do we get rid of him talk. It's just the way it is. You can't continue to be 500 and we're trying to figure out who we are.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. So yes, we expected this team to be 500. Yes, if we did, that's fine. But we also would have enjoyed Obi getting more minutes than what he has. And so that's the issue with this team. I mean, Grimes not even in the rotation right now. And I don't know that that's ideal right now for this organization, especially when he was one of the players you tried your best to keep away in those Donovan Mitchell talks. I mean, all your decisions and your thinking is being evaluated as a front office. I mean, I sure hope James Dolan is evaluating everything that this front office does, because everything that they're doing should be, it should be on the microscope, because this organization is now at a critical point for the future. You mess up one of these picks, you mess up one of these moves, you don't figure out the Randle situation, you can have a setback here. So this is a critical deadline. This is a critical year for this organization.
Big facts. And RJ with the quote of the day, you win a game with superheroes, you lose, everything sucks. RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. They said
watching
RJ
KnicksFanTV.
Yeah, he's definitely been watching. They said he was sick tonight or something. Somebody said he was on the bench with a mask. I don't know. He just didn't look like he had much going. Couldn't finish well.
I heard that too. That he was sick. Breen, I think, even said it.
Yeah.
I even saw him at the free throw line. He looked like he was trying to cover a cough or something. But gotta make some layups, man.
Gotta make them layups, man.
I love you, RJ.
You gotta make some.
Gotta
layups.
make some of these layups, bro.
Yeah. Got to make layups. And then 8 for 14 from the charity stripe. We got there 14, and then Utah was tight, man. Some of them were kind of, the fans were kind of felt were kind of questionable. But, you make 6 more of those, you get, 24 points. He's got to make those.
And one of the things I'm seeing this year, even more than last year, slightly surprising, but I get it though. And it's one of those things where if Julius is not a part of this team, does that mentality change? Is that I'm starting to see him when he struggles in the rim, he keeps pushing the issue.
He pushes.
He wants, because it's like he wants to do well. He wants to make the next layup. And it's like, RJ, you can pass it to the corner to Cam. Like, you can pass it to the corner to one of your teammates, because he still gets respected. Like, I still see a lot of times when he gets to the rim, as he's attacking the rim, he always pulls one of the wings towards him, and he could become a playmaker a little bit more. And I'm seeing him being sometimes a little too aggressive, and I get why, but those are the small nuances of you becoming a more complete player. Is
no question.
That's a good way to make a defense pay. Is the wing comes out, kick it out, especially if some of your teammates are hitting shots. But I think he'll figure it out eventually. But CP, I think part of the RJ dynamic is, I've been saying it. How many times have we been saying this? I don't think him and Julius connect. I just don't. We've tried this experiment for many years. You saw last year there was a stat where when they both play well, the Knicks won most of their games, but you can't get them to play well together.
It's not consistent.
And it's just clunky because they're both not really athletic, and they both play premium athletic positions in this league. So I don't know that you can have two not great athletic wings or forwards in this league. You got to have some athleticism there. So they got to make a decision, and it's going to be a clunky mix between those two.
And I think that's why seeing RJ with that second unit could be a trend. Could be a trend. You saw RJ getting a lot of run with IQ, Obi, one of the bigs, either Sims or Hartenstein, and then either a Rose and sometimes a Brunson. So we'll see how that works out, because Thibs did try that last year as well, trying to stagger the lineups a little bit. So we'll see. But and Breen hit it on the head, because I've been talking about this all year, man. And as you said, it's like when he missed one or two, he tries to like win everything back in the next one. And it's like, yo, make winning plays, pass it. You're still drawing attention on your drives. Pass it. And on the one where he found Cam in the corner for a corner three, what did Breen say? That was a great sacrifice by RJ, not forcing a shot in traffic. That's what he and Julius need to do, make those plays and make their teammates better. I've been saying it all year. Stop. You don't have to force all of your drives just because they're there. Get your guys in rhythm. You'll get it back. Like that. That's how you make winning plays. It's not just all about just playing hero ball all the time. And so he's definitely got to work on that. And 18 for RJ. Other things by the numbers. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Pretty even from a shooting standpoint. Knicks did muster up 60 points in the paint, man, and with no true rim presence. Although Walker Kessler had himself a couple of high spots, especially early in the game, Knicks still were able to muster 60 points in the paint versus the Jazz 40. Thought the Knicks did a good job of, 14 turnovers. They had a lot of turnovers in the first quarter. They had about 5, but only 10 points coming off of that by the Utah Jazz. So Knicks did fairly decent there. But I thought this game was really interesting from a transition standpoint, because going into the game, doing my research and looking up the stats, Knicks are 4th in the league in frequency. 17% of their offense comes in transition. That's 4th in the league. They get out and run. They're dead last in points per possession. They don't finish. And what do we see tonight, bro? In the first quarter, 2 3-on-1 fast breaks. 3-on-1 fast breaks that ended in a turnover. And then you go back to the stats and see why.
I thought it was you, Alex, and CK running the fast break.
Bro. 2 3-on-1 fast breaks. And then conversely, you see the Jazz, while they're 25th in transition frequency, they're 7th in points per possession. And you saw that tonight in terms of how efficient they are in transition. They may not get that many opportunities, but when they get them, they're off to the races, and they convert. The guards put a lot of pressure on you, whether it's Sexton, Conley, Taylor Horton, Tucker, Clarkson. The guards do a good job, man, of getting out and running and finishing. So I thought that the transition game was very interesting tonight.
And they need to continue to, figure out a way to, they have to look at some of these results when they win, especially against good teams, and see if they can duplicate that. And they should look at, again, you talked about the points in the paint as well, fast break points. All that is in conjunction with the fact that the Utah Jazz don't have, elite rim protection. And guess what? Tomorrow, I know Jokic's not a great defender, but he's still a 7-foot body in there. He can still block a shot. And, he is, not going to be available. So now you're going to have another opportunity tomorrow to, put some pressure on the rim, attack the basket. Jericho Sims is going to have an opportunity to have another great night. And you need to, you're looking at DeAndre Jordan starting tomorrow. He can't move anymore, CP.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan can't move on defense anymore. He's 34 years old, and he's going to be likely your starting center tomorrow. It's a great opportunity for the Knicks to continue to play the way they play tonight, and use Obi, use Cam, Brunson, continue to attack the rim. And listen, tomorrow's game becomes winnable to me. I know it's in Denver. I know it's the Mile High. It is tricky because you're on a second of a back-to-back in the Mile High state. So, it's going to be interesting to see how Thibs manages the minutes tomorrow, just because, of the whole talk of, sometimes you can get tired quickly in Denver. But, again, you don't have Aaron Gordon is going to be, a game-time decision, and Jokic is out. So, to me, you can't win a game like tonight and then just have a complete dud tomorrow. Go out and try to win tomorrow.
Let's go to the Discord. Harry in Tulum, what's going on? Harry in Tulum, going once. All right, Harry's gone. All right, we're going to close out with the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. Chuck.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you feeling?
Good win. Hey, listen, Cam, rapid fire. Cam's electric car, y'all. We got gas guzzlers, yo. We got gas guzzlers. And the defense that Cam exudes just accidentally sometimes, you got to have defenders like that defend these teams. I don't know what the big change is from 3 years ago, but this is a different speed of a game. And you can't play around in this league. It's any given quarter, man. And my last note on the iHeart thing, it's a two-headed center. If one of them go, both of them go. I'm serious. So we need iHeart with Mitch. It's like Mitch is 70, iHeart's 30, and with one of them down, we have no center. I'm just going to be just straight like that. Rapid fire, salutes, ready for tomorrow.
The rhyme animal Chuck D closing this show tonight. Appropriately so. Shout out to the rhyme animal Chuck D, man. Great show, everybody. Great show, JD.
Give me a bold prediction tomorrow, man.
A bold prediction? Listen, all
man.
it took, like I said, opening the show, all it took was just a little dinner and some bonding. We are back. We are back, man. Knicks are going into Mile High. They haven't won since 2006, since the Jamal Crawford buzzer beater. How atrocious is that? We're coming for revenge, man. We're coming for redemption. We got a couple Knicks fans going out there too. Triple M gonna be out there. Our guy Nickinator is gonna be out there. So we're gonna be in there heavy. I'm gonna go. 115-105.
Knicks?
Yeah. 2 in a row. Shock the world, man.
Does Cam have a decent game tomorrow?
Does he go for 3 in a row? Ooh, and he's got Michael Porter Jr. in his sights. Let's go. Get your popcorn ready. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, I mean, the way he playing defense, they might put him on Jamal Murray. You never know.
Yeah, hey, might have to. Might have to, man.
I don't know that they're going to put Brunson on him. They might put Brunson on Caldwell Pope.
Yeah.
Right? I would go Brunson on Caldwell Pope myself. I would go Cam.
Is Bruce Brown in that lineup?
Bruce Brown. I mean, they might actually start Bruce Brown tomorrow because of the Jokic, the Jokic injury. But, looking at the last game, their starting 5 was Murray, Caldwell Pope, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Jokic.
Okay.
So they might just slide DeAndre Jordan in there.
And Jeff Green? Oh, no. The Nick Killer, Jeff Green. Oh, no.
Jeff Green played 19 minutes last game in their win against the Bulls.
Man, I forgot about the Nick Killer, Jeff Green, man. Oh, man. Yeah. That just changed my score. 115-112. Close one. Jeff Green, the Julius oh man. Oh man. That the Julius Killer, Jeff Green. You better run him off the line tomorrow, Julius. Don't let Uncle Jeff get you 5 threes.
By the way, it's funny how the media and the coverage in New York is. It's just different. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. They lost by 32 points on TNT tonight against the Sacramento Kings. And you talk about the Knicks giving a 145. They gave a 153.
Wow.
It's 153-121 Sacramento Kings.
Kings playing well, man.
Nets got some figuring out to do.
Yeah. No question, man. One other quick one, San Fran from our West Coast people, man. We got a good group building up for this Knicks fan meetup in San Francisco pregame for the Knicks and Warriors matchup. I'll be headed out there on Thursday. The meetup is going to be Friday at 4:30 at the Mission Rock Resort, dope seafood restaurant right by the Chase Center. We got a good group RSVPing right now. Make sure you guys meet us out there. Everybody who's going to be in the Bay Area in San Francisco for this game. Meet me, J Cal, host of others. My guy Eugene, EJ in the chat, going to be there as well. We got a good group going. So make sure you guys meet us out there on Friday. Tomorrow,
get an opportunity to see Chef Curry. Ooh.
Yeah, go check the chef, man. Go check the chef and steal a win at the Chase Center. And most importantly, let me shout out the super chats real quick.
By the way, everyone, we have over 2,000 still watching. Only 665 likes just before the show ends. Within the next 30 seconds, we got to get 600 into 1,000 at least.
Yeah,
we got to get into the.
We should have been at 3,000 tonight. We should have been at 3,000 tonight, man.
I know the YouTube outlook looks different. The design and the display, they change things. Just don't forget to hit that like.
Don't forget to hit that like button. It's very important. It means a lot in terms of how much views we get, how many people watch, how many people see these videos. These algorithms ain't too kind, man. They try to throttle down the engagement, not show you everything, not show you all your subscribers, all your stuff, because they want you to pay for advertising. So It's very important that you do your part in showing the algorithm that this show is the number one show for the fans, by the fans. So you have to hit that like button. You got to share these videos every time you get in here. Hit that share button, whether it's social media, Twitter, Facebook, or just texting somebody. Every single person counts in terms of tripping off the algorithm, man. So make sure that you guys are hitting the like button. Let me salute the Super Chats. Shout out Jamaica Queens 22. $10 Super Chats is bold prediction. Knicks win by 12, led by the second unit. EJ says, $10 Super Chat says, CP, when you get to the Bay on Friday, I'm going to get you a box of French baguettes so you bring it back for Evan. Shout out CL Kendrick, $5 Super Chat says, that's what you call defense. What a way to open up the West Coast trip, and I love it. JB was clutch in the fourth, super clutch in the fourth, man. Christian Broakos says, Thibs got lucky tonight, but he honestly doesn't know what to do with the team and can't make up his mind on the rotation. The rotation was fine, man. The players played tonight. My man CL Kendrick just talked about Brunson in the fourth quarter. 12 points by Brunson. That's not Thibs. That's a player that you got playing. This is what Brunson does in the fourth quarter. A good decision maker, a steady hand. This is what we're looking for. Clutch play. Emmanuel Quickly. That's not Thibs. That's Quickly balling. Both ends of the floor. Obi splashing threes from the corner. That's Obi putting in the work on his shot. You know, everybody wants to blame the coach. The players played tonight. Cam playing defense. A sense of desperation. The rotations were fine, man. The players executed and put in an effort. Jim Ali says, $10 Super Chat. Says, CP, I promise you at the Pistons game, $10 to KFTV. London fan, whatever, was streaming radio playoffs with Marbury in Istanbul, Turkey 2004. Ain't no fan of the players, just the jersey. I'm Knicks Hive. No doubt. Shout out Joseph Gibbs says maybe Thibs is trying to expose Randle to the front office, so it'll be something they'll have to act on. He's in a tight spot with no other choice to do. Joseph Kim, appreciate it. $20 Super Chat. Jorge Lopez, $10 Super Chat says, when the offense runs through Brunson, the offense is more fluid. I like what Reddish is doing out there, and a 9-man rotation too. Salute to y'all boys. The NYK voices a reason. Blade Penderhughes, appreciate it. He says, salute to the family. I really wish the Knicks let Mitch Walker do the sign and trade. Genuinely feel like we could have been just fine with Jalen Duren. That's Blade Penderhughes, $17 altogether. Jim Ali, Knicks got Julius back more than my mommy got for mines. Ben Takara says, $10 Super Chat says, Cam Reddish is the best defender on the Knicks and must play. We fans knew this tonight, and Thibs realized, confirmed this by giving them the minutes. This is the best move moving forward. Shout out S.Po25 says, Julius Randle hasn't changed. He powdered the whole fourth quarter while Brunson quickly and Obi got busy. Time to trade Randle. Troy Davis says, I got receipts. Someone on two nights panel was wondering how Cam finds minutes over Fournier and Grimes. Cam is even better than RJ if he can stay healthy. Well, if Grimes was healthy, we might not have been here. So I think he's trying to air me out, but it didn't work. Kenny Gales, I mean, you know, they like to play the right and wrong game. Kenny Gale says, finally Evan sent to Siberia. I don't care what it is or what's happening. Cam plays. Obi with a team high plus 23. Player buying his 6. Julius turning the ball over. Wayne Higgs says 1-0. I think I see something.
Try to air you out.
Yeah, he tried to air me out. Brandon Getz sent out Super Chat. Was Cam this level of defender in ATL? For what it's worth, I think Thibs' standards for playing time forced Cam's motor to evolve. I know it's a contract year, but he developed. Brandon Getz talking a whole lot of stuff Knicks fans don't want to hear. Good pickup by Leon. Extend him.
Definitely a better defender as a Knick than he was in Atlanta. Atlanta was a lot of potential and flashes. He's putting it together here now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, man. It's been late. Good show. Good win. Remember, this show is available in audio podcast format. Catch it in the podcast. And go to Manscaped, manscaped.com. Promo code KFTV. 20% off plus free shipping. See you guys tomorrow night. Knicks in the Mile High City. Let's go. Peace.